cheap thrills, dollar bills, bills. Shake it, don't stop, say oh.
The story developed from a quote that I heard that was some kind of bullying goes on in 70% of families in the UK, and I just basically thought, how can I make a really kind of strong narrative film out of that? So I started looking at sport and I started thinking about pushy parents and stuff like that, and I thought boxing, because obviously it's quite commercial and visually it's quite cinematic. So, and also I figured because of the machismo in boxing, you could probably attract some good talent, which is really what I wanted to do at this stage in my career in short filmmaking. And I wondered how difficult that would be to get kind of famous people in your film. So I went away and wrote a boxing script, watched loads of boxing short films, watched all the boxing movies, every single one, and I tried to figure out how to do something different with the genre. Most of the boxing films, the older boxing films, lead up to the big fight, and the drama is whether he wins or loses the big fight. So with my film, which was obviously about bullying, the big fight isn't necessarily a big fight within the sport, but it's a big fight within between the bully and the victim, basically. So that's how it kind of developed. And I came up with a 12-page script and sent it off for consultation, got good feedback, sent it around to my director of photography, got good feedback from him. We started to rewrite it and just try and make it better. And that was about it. That's how the script began. Okay, funding, it's always a tricky issue with short filmmaking, obviously. We started crowdfunding, I think I raised something like £320, and that was from my family. So we kind of, there was a point where we didn't know what to do, didn't have a clue, we had no money. I decided to put an advert in a boxing magazine, and it basically said we wanted funding for a film with Gary Stretch. That kind of went by and no one kind of responded to it, and then we put an advert in the Metro, it was something like 1.2 million readership in the Evening Standard, and we picked up a load of cranks pretending that they wanted to fund our film, and it was a big problem because they kept kind of texting us and emailing us, and it was just a load of people just wanting to be in the film, picking their kids up for the film. And so it was a bit of a problem, so we kind of, that all died down, we just kind of ignored it. And then we were kind of thinking that it just wasn't going to get made, it just wasn't going to happen, we're moving on to other projects. And I got an email from an executive producer. I didn't know he was an executive producer then, but he got an email from him saying, have you found the money for your boxing film? And I basically said, no, regards, Chris. And because I didn't think anything of it, I just thought it was another crank. And then he said, well, I'll give you the money, what are your bank details, basically, in those fewer words, actually. And we sent him over a script, he loved it straight away, and then we told him we had Gary on board, and then the money went in the account a week later, so we were ready to go.
I don't work like this.
PCC kind of video. Right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I'm just gonna go again. You don't need to stop. I'm gonna. Okay.
Hold on.
I'm gonna.